Well, I'm Sarah Porisch, and I teach at the middle school. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade basic reading. Excuse me. And I also teach a 6th grade social studies section. So my thing with my classes is with my basic reading classes, as you know, with our struggling learners, especially our adolescent struggling learners, you tend to see behaviors in classrooms because when they are struggling, they get frustrated, and they tend to show us that with their behaviors. So that was a big concern of mine with the iPads, and I saw it at the beginning of the year, especially with my 8th graders. We originally had covers like this that would flip over the top, and they would think that they were being sneaky and emailing underneath that cover, and that I wouldn't notice. And so right away, I found something called Splashtop, okay? And maybe some of you have heard of this. Splashtop, in its simplest form, is a wireless mouse for you to use. I went past that and I got Splashtop Whiteboard. That is a $19.99, so it's a $20 app, which for some of us is kind of expensive, but I use it daily in my classroom, and I'll show you how to do that. I was kind of concerned because I can't do it both with a microphone, so I'm going to try to project my voice through some of this. Another reason why I wanted to find this as well is I'm not a teacher to stand up in the front. I like to be out with my students, looking over their shoulder, touching their shoulders, having that physical contact with them, and this allows me to do that. So I wanted to show you all of the ways that I use that. So. Okay, so I'm adding, yeah, maybe you can get it to work. I'm adding what I'm seeing over their shoulders. So for struggling learners, sometimes they'll shut down, right? So they'll get stuck. They'll say, I can't brainstorm right now. I can't even think of anything. So if they can see in live time what other people are coming up with, that can trigger things in their minds. And so then they're typing more, okay? So then our next step on this, I can pull it up on here. Looks something, it's just not opening it up. Okay, yeah. So then we can pull up something like this, and this is the questions that we came up with as a class and as I was walking around. So other students may have 20 more on their sheets, but these are the examples that we came up with as I was walking around and they were working. So the beeper goes off. Now we can talk about, how can we combine these into different topics, and we can type up our topics, and the annotator allows you to highlight, add circles, it allows you to spotlight different things. So it's a pretty powerful tool for me to be out and about with my class as they're working. So I have a backup here, so I'll just pull it up real quick. So I'm online. I can also circle and type online. So the web page is up in front of them on their iPads. I have it up on my screen. If I want to draw attention to something, I can circle it right on that web page. Splashtop, I wanted to show you that on the app, you buy the app from the App Store, then you have to go to the website to download the app, to download a thing onto your computer to be able to use it. So there's a couple steps that you need to take. You need to have a good Wi-Fi connection to be able to do this. In my classroom, I rarely have glitches like that, because in my classroom we have a very strong Wi-Fi connection, so I don't have many problems with it. But if you don't have a good Wi-Fi connection, it will drop you several times, so you want to make sure that you have that. This was the example that I just showed. This is another one. So when we're done doing something, I take a picture of it, and now I can pull up two different things. So on the left there, that was a brainstorm that we did about an animal in a very low-level reading class that I have. So we were just going to do a 3-paragraph about an animal, one of their pets, whatever. So we brainstormed, and then I can put it right next to our little graphic organizer that reminds them to have a topic sentence, at least 3 supporting and an ending sentence. So we can look at them both at the same time together. I do a quick daily edit in my class, and so they have it in front of them. They were supposed to have the 3 days finished at this point, 3 different boxes. And then I pull sticks, and as they're telling me the changes, I'm walking around the classroom making the changes on the board on my iPad, and then they're making the same changes on their sheet. So if they missed any, they can see it and get it on their own sheet as well. I like this feature. It's a spotlight feature. So if I want to draw attention, this is what I was saying, draw attention to one certain thing, I can do that on there. And I can say this is exactly where I want you to be looking on your sheet, and they know where to go right away. There's a screen feature, so you can show just as much as you want to on your screen. These are some of the things that my struggling learners said. I had them write me a paragraph to qualify to come here today with me. So about 6 of them will be here with me this afternoon. And I said, okay, email me a paragraph telling me how this has helped you and how the iPads help you. And these are just a few of the things that they said. So they said, I don't feel left behind in class anymore. A lot of the students, especially our struggling learners, when we're just audio telling them, shooting things at them, they cannot process that fast enough to get it down into their notes or wherever we want them to have it. So this way, I can tell them they're tactile touching their iPads and doing it at the same time, and they're seeing it at the same time, so it's a visual thing for them. So they get a lot of different modalities to get the information. Another one said, if I don't hear something, I can look up to the board and see what Mrs. Porisch was talking about. We all kind of blank out sometimes. I mean, even we do it, right? So that happens. They're going to kind of wander for a minute. They can come back and still get the information and get caught up with me. That was my favorite one, the last one, is what a lot of my students actually said in their paragraph. They have confidence that they can do it now, that they can read, or they can go to science class and read the text, or they can go to math class, and they can raise their hand now. And that's not just Splashtop. That's just creating an atmosphere of giving them lots of different ways to see how to do something and hear it and do it and see it and be involved with it, collaborate with their classmates. So the biggest thing with Splashtop, I really feel, is the classroom management piece of it. I went to Dr. Patricia Cunningham. I went to one of her workshops. She's a reading specialist, and she talked about she was sitting in a high school classroom, and the teacher had this great lesson, but she'd turn around and write on the board, and every time she did, there'd be a paper ball that flew across the room, and that was just something that the kids were doing. And that stuck in my head, because maybe not to that extreme, but I really feel like we lose kids when we turn our back to them, and then we turn around again. And so this allows you to have it on your iPad right in front of you, and out and talking to people and touching the shoulder and keeping that engagement and that so that they're right there with you. And again, like I said, classroom management is a big piece with these iPads. I don't have issues with that anymore because I am out in the classroom looking over their shoulders all the time, and they know that. So I don't really have an issue with that anymore. So I hope that you come and visit us this afternoon, because the kids that are coming over are really excited to share with you how it's helping them to be confident in all of their classes. So thanks for your time.